Bé, estem aquí amb la Bàrbara Praví. És una de les favorites a guanyar aquest any amb la seva cançó Voilà, a Eurovisió, que ha tingut també molta repercussió a nivell espanyol. Bienvenue, Barbara. Thank you for being with us.
Hello, thank you.
Thank you so much, Barbara, for having us, for having accepted this interview. So without further ado, let's start with the questions we have thought for you. So first of all, the first question, a mandatory question, is why did you decide to apply for the French selection for Eurovision 2021?
Actually, I don't know, but no, I was, I write for 2 years, like for Carla and for Valentina. You hear me? I'm afraid there is a problem of connection. No, okay, it's cool. And so this year, I knew that in France, they decided to make a concours for the adult Eurovision. And at the beginning, they called me to write songs for another people in the concours. And I said, yes, of course. So I sent my song and they say, please, Barbara, can you try to do the Eurovision this year? And I said, no, I don't want to be in the light, on the spotlight. I'm better on the background. And finally, I think a lot, and I have an album here waiting to be out in France, etc. And I said, okay, so maybe I'm ready to do this. And finally I decided to go. And I think this is the best decision I've ever took of my life.
Yes, I think it will be a life-changing experience for you. So we'll have to see, but yes, all the things are going forwards for it.
And from the moment you were announced and you accepted this French selection, you became the fan favorite to win the Eurovision France. Did you feel this way, or you didn't really pay attention to these expectations around your song?
No, I don't pay attention. Actually, the only thing that matters for me is that I feel the support, and that's crazy. And I'm so glad that I know that I have a lot of people behind me and supporting me. That's the thing I look for. I mean, I look for. I feel and I. You're gonna win or you're not gonna win, or it's cool or it's not. I don't care, and I don't watch the commentary under the videos and everything, because it's already a lot of pressure. And I think it's better if you want to stay in the light, I mean in your light, your personal light, you don't have to watch all the negative things. And the only thing you can do is to feel the support and the love of people. That's the only thing matter for me.
Okay, amazing. So as we all know, you won the French pre-selection with Voilà. That has gone on to be one of the most successful Eurovision 2021 songs so far. So why do you think Voilà has been so successful among not only the Eurovision fans, but among the international European community?
I don't know why a song past can make his way to the people. The only thing, like the most important thing in Voilà is the emotion. When I sing the song, I'm like this, like I'm in trance, and I think people felt the emotion in the song. I don't know what can it be than the emotion, because there is nothing in that song. There is only one piano, there is 3 cellos and me, so it's not much. But I know that each time when I sing the song, I'm connected to something else, and maybe maybe people felt this emotion here.
Yeah, maybe it's that simplicity that reached so many people, no, and authenticity.
Yes, you know what, we have habits of having songs with a lot of things and with a lot of dance and with a lot of I don't know, like a lot of lights and a lot of like things everywhere, and maybe to have something like very pure with nothing, only me, and I'm very small. Maybe it changed, so maybe it goes straight to the heart. I don't know, but actually the thing is, it's very complicated for me to answer to that question because it's me. So it's I don't receive the song as you know me. I can share it and you receive it, so you could answer to that question.
Amazing. So you have just said that when you sing the song, you feel connected to something else. What do you feel connected with when you sing the song?
I feel connected with energy. You know, it's like we all know that we are in only pure energy. Our words are energy, our body are energies. Sometimes, I don't know if you feel this, but sometimes you go into a room and there's one person and you don't know why you feel attracted to these people because that person has an aura. In France we say an aura. Actually, I know that all human beings are energy, and when I sing Voilà, I'm connected with myself, like inside of me, and all the forces inside of me, and all the forces around, like from the top to my head to my feet. It's kind of weird, but actually it's very real. I mean, I feel it like it's very, very material and very real. I can't really explain, but
Yes, I think we understand that energy and that atmosphere. It's great.
And you said in some interviews that your performance in Rotterdam would be a little bit different from the one we saw in the national final. Can you tell us any change, or is it's still a secret?
I want to keep the surprise, but you can know, I can tell you what is not going to change. So I'm going to wear, you know, a bustier, because it's important. I need all my arms to sing the song. So it's important that people see my arms, my hands and everything. So I will have a bustier, but a better one, like a crazy one. And actually I'm trying to stay very simple, to make differences, but staying simple. So, well, I'm working on it.
I'm sure it will be amazing. So now moving forward to Eurovision, as you may know, you're currently one of the top favorites in the betting odds houses to win Eurovision 2021. So does it somehow add extra pressure to your journey? How do you cope with it, with all the pressure and all this attention that you receive every day?
Actually, I don't think about the top 5. I mean, I'm not. I know that I'm very close to Switzerland and very close to Malta, because each day I receive some texto like, "Oh my God, you're still in the top 3 or you're still in the top 5." So actually, I'm so happy of it. But you know, it's the same thing. I only see the love of people and the soutien. I mean, they are behind me and they are sending me like very long message of love and saying, "Oh my God, I discovered Voilà and it's a crazy song and I hope and I wish you the best," and everything. This type of message are totally crazy, and I'm proud and so glad I received this. But for all those the other things like the top 5 or the pressure of the top 5, I don't care, because you know I really think that we all are so lucky to go in Rotterdam this year because of the COVID, you know, and there is no place to sing in the world. There is no place to sing, there is no concert, there we are 40 people to have the chance to sing in front of, I don't remember how, 1,000 million people. So we all already won, actually. And for me, that's the only thing matter.
Yes.
After, of course, if I really made the top 5 or the top 1 or the top, like, I don't know which, but for now, I can't think about it because it's not very important. This is not, you know, the thing in the Eurovision is to share, is to meet people, is to sing your song, is to defend your origins, your language, and that's already cool. So yeah.
And you were talking that going to Eurovision is already a great experience, but what's the thing that the most you're looking forward to live or to see in Rotterdam?
You know, it's fun because yesterday I was having a shower and I was thinking it's crazy because it's more than a dream. So you can't have projection because you can't imagine, because it's too huge. So I can't really answer to that question because every day it will be a new discovering thing. Like, I mean, I don't know who I'm going to meet. I don't know. I don't even imagine the stage because I know that the stage is like the hugest stage ever, and I know it, but I can't have any projection because for now it's not real. So I don't know what, but I know that it's probably gonna be the most gigantic travel of my life. But I for now I can't say anything because I'm not in there. But I will tell you when I will be in Rotterdam.
Amazing. So probably you know that yesterday it was announced that Australia wouldn't be able to travel to Rotterdam because of the travel restrictions for COVID-19. So do you know for sure if you will be able to travel to Rotterdam?
Yes. I already have my ticket. And if you want to know, the France Télévisions says that they took, train tickets. And with my manager, we said, no, we want to live the adventure. We want to go by car. So we are taking a bus. Yes, we are having a bus, and we are going with all France Télévisions and all the French team by the bus.
Oh my God.
That's amazing.
So exciting.
You will have the best time ever in that bus, I'm sure.
Yes,
that will be amazing.
Like this. So cool.
That will be amazing for sure. So, and besides Voila, you have also become, obviously, as we were talking before, you have also become famous for creating the songs for Junior Eurovision, Bim Bam Toi and J'imagine. So, how did you manage to get involved in the process of creation these songs? Did you send demos to France Télévisions? Did they contact you to explicitly write these songs? How did the process go?
For the first one was Bim Bam Toi, and France Télévisions was looking for a song. So they asked to like every composer in France, and they say, okay, we called it an appel d'offres, which means like the best, let's do the best song and we will take the best song. And so with Egit, we decided to answer to this appel d'offres, and we made Bim Bam Toi. But we made Bim Bam, we already knew that Carla was the girl. Like, okay. We had the face of Carla. She made, the voice child in France. So we saw her prestation and her way to move on the stage and everything. And we decided to make Bim Bam Toi, and France Télé called us and say, okay, it's for sure it's you. So let's go. And finally, the song had a huge success, on TikTok and everything. Mm-hmm. And she finished. She took the 5th place in Eurovision, so it was crazy. So for this year, for Valentina, they called us again, and they say, "Hey, do you want to make Valentina this year?" And we say, "Yay!"
Great.
And before we were talking that one of the keys of success of your song is that this authenticity and what you feel with it. But when writing for other people, which do you think is the key for it to be a successful song?
It's always the same. Authenticity doesn't mean sadness, you know. For me, maybe a little, because I'm kind of I'm not a sad girl, but actually I have a lot here, a lot of emotion inside. So, but the key is always authenticity. When we wrote Bim Bam, we saw Carla, we saw her. She's so fresh, she's so young, she's so comedian, you know. Like she make tap dance, she can do a lot of things. So it was important. The most important thing is to make a song for people. It's like if you go to, you know, to make a costume. If you want to make a costume, you have to make a costume on your body, because if it's not on your body and if it's on my body, the costume is not the same. And it's the same thing for a song. You have to be very precise and to write something for the singer you want to write for. So the authenticity is the same. It depends on it's just you move you just change your, you know, your cursor on the people you write for.
Okay, so it's so funny because like you have written both Bim Bam Toi and J'imagine, which are so funny songs, like full of energy, and then you have also written Voila, which is like the antithesis of Bim Bam Toi and J'imagine, and it's like so crazy, you know, to know that only that the same person has written both Voila and Bim Bam Toi and J'imagine. So that's amazing. That's so great.
Having these both sides, no, also.
Yes. Yes.
Of course, and you know, Carla and Valentina are younger than me, but actually I still have young people inside of me, and I still want to make a Disney song. So each song are part of me, but me, Barbara Pravi, the message I want to say is, this is what I am. This is not, but I also have this in me.
Yes, and that's proven to be so successful. So yeah, that's the right path, I think. So currently, with all the Eurovision preparation and stuff, do you still have time to compose or create new songs?
Actually, I knew that it will be. Oh, you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I knew that the you know the before the Eurovision it's gonna be so intense. So before winning Eurovision, I made in my agenda weeks of studio. Of course, I will continue to create. I will make my album and everything. So yeah, it's very important to do this. And I did this before. I mean, I put my weeks off just to make music before all this.
And do we have a date for? Do we have a date set for this album that you're talking?
I hope at the end of August or beginning of September.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
We'll be waiting for it.
Yeah.
And yeah, me too. I'm so waiting for.
Of course.
And well, yours is a musical family. How did it help you in your career, having a family with already some musicians or music culture?
You know, my father used to play violin, but not very well. I mean, well, but not very well. Okay. And he teach me. He didn't teach me, but the cool thing is that at my when I was young, each morning there were music, like classical music for the most of the time, but there were music all the time at my parents' place. And I think your brain like understand music maybe well when you used to listen to it. But that's the only thing the only thing I see, because for the rest of my influence and everything, I search for music. I decided to listen that type of music, and I discovered that the chanson française is something I love because of the words, because the crazy, and because the melody are flying and everything. But I search for music, but I was used to listen to music thanks to my family.
Okay, and so you have ascendants both from Serbia and from Iran, if I'm not wrong. So does these origins of your family origins have had any impact on the music you listen to or on the songs you compose?
I think, I think your family has an impact on what you are, not only on what you listen or what you compose or what you read or anything. Obviously, your family, your mom and dad, and your grandfather, grandmother, grandmother has an influence on your life, on your human being. So, of course, they influence my music, but it's not. It's more tricky than this. It's not big. For example, I never listened to Iranian music or Serbian music, but I have the accent of my grandfather, my Serbian grandfather, and in my ear, Barbara, please. And I have all this energy, and I know his story. So I know that my Serbian grandfather learned me how to tell stories, because he spent his life to tell his story to me. He's traveling from Belgrade to Paris, etc., etc. He's meeting with my grandmother and everything. So he told me how to tell stories, for example. That things influence me.
And you are now quite popular in Spain, as you were invited in the TV show Rocío Contar la Verdad para Seguir Viva. This was like a big break in a primetime show. So now many people here know Voila and can sing to it. How did you feel when you were told that, or you received the call to say, hey, you're invited in a TV show in Spain? How did you feel?
I cried. I was like, no, it's not true. Oh. It's not true. No, actually, I was so happy because, yeah, no, but it's crazy during this time of COVID to travel, to have the opportunity to travel. And en plus, I'm crazy about Spain. I don't know if you know, but I spent like when I was like 18 to 21, I spent a lot of time in Barcelona with friends. I was living there. I had a boyfriend there. I made a song called Barcelona. And so I have a very so I have something with Spain. So when I knew that I was going to Madrid, I've never been there. I was like, oh my God. And after I learned about life of Rocío, I didn't know what the show was about and everything. And I learned, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad and I'm so proud they call me, because in France, I don't know if you know, but I raised my voice for against violence for women and everything. So I mean that works. Voila works with all the voice of Rocío, with all the courage she has. So I was so proud. The first thing was, oh my God, and the second thing was, I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
Yeah, it's been a shocking story for all the Spanish media and Spanish fans.
Yeah, I know.
It's been quite shocking.
So once you got to Telecinco, how was the experience there? Did they treat you well? How did you receive all this attention from Spanish media?
So well. You can't imagine it. It was so cool. Each people were so cool, but each technician, each engineer of each cameraman, each guy, I had a traductor in my ear, and I spent all the day saying, "Hey, hola, el traductor, hola, el traductor." That was so fun. They were a guy named Santi. He was with me during all the afternoon and all the night, and he was so cool. And we sent messages to say happy birthday because we were born like 2 days. Voilà.
apart.
No, that was so cool. Actually, so cool.
That's so great. We are happy that you got a great recital in Spain.
And
So nice.
once you got into the studio and you sang Voila, afterwards, Carlota, the TV host, she asked you to sing one of these, the most famous songs of Rocío Jurado. Did you feel the pressure of singing such a classic for Spanish fans?
You know, I'm not Spanish, so I don't have all the culture, the background, and the only thing I know is that the song is a wonderful song. I feel the emotion of the song, and so my only pressure is to always the same, to share the emotion I feel when I hear the song. But me, I don't know all the importance of Como una ola in Spain, because I'm not Spanish. It's like if I ask you to sing a song from Aznavour, you will feel the emotion, you will understand the beauty of the melody, the beauty of the words, but you will not feel the pressure of the French culture inside of you, because you're not French, and precious it's for French people,
Mm-hmm.
So I felt the chance to sing Como una ola on Telecinco, but I don't felt the pressure.
Yes.
But you surely gave goosebumps to many people because it was quite a surprising.
Yes.
I love that song. It's
And
a wonderful song. Oh my God.
And your Spanish was perfect. Like, we were so surprised to listen to it, because your Spanish was like more like, it was like better than mine. So that was amazing, actually.
It's not Spanish. It's close to French. And actually, when you're a singer, you have the ear. I mean, I hear the accent, so it's not very difficult for me to speak in Spanish or in Italian or that Latin language.
Yes.
But I have to learn. I mean, I have to practice.
Yes, of course. But it was amazing. So, and due to your travel to Madrid, you were able to meet Blas Cantó, our Spanish representative. So how was it?
It was so cool. I don't know if you know Blas, if you already have an interview with him, but he is the most cutest guy ever. He's so sweet. He touched me because we talk about the Eurovision, the pressure, about his song and everything. And he's so touching. He's so real. He's a very, very authentic guy. He's so cool. I can't wait to see him in Rotterdam. We have a plan. I have to take a flute, and we have to make Céline Dion with the flute.
Okay.
Oh, that will be iconic as well.
And
that's amazing.
And well, there are many songs this year in Eurovision, many great songs, but do you have any favorite one other than yours, of course? But
that's complicated because I think this year there's a lot of so cool songs. I think about the song of Blas. I know that it's a song about his grandmother who died from the COVID and everything, and I think it's a powerful song. I love the Russian Girl. She looks so crazy.
Manisha.
I love Destiny from Malte. I love the song of John. I love the song of the Iceland. I
Yes.
don't know how to pronounce the name, but I love his song. Well, there's a lot of great song this year. So I think it's gonna be more fun. Like there is a huge competition. If you think on competition way, there is a huge competition this year.
Yes, it's been said that it's one of the most competitive years in Eurovision recent history. So it will be an amazing show
So
for
cool.
sure. Yes.
Yes, and I think we are going to have surprises. I think, you know what? For now there is a top 5 and top na, but I'm sure we are going to have surprises, like for
Yes.
sure.
Of course. So besides Blas, obviously that you met in Madrid, and also John Steers, that we always see that you get in contact very well and you get in touch frequently. Have you been able to meet or to talk with other participants of this year's Eurovision, like maybe through Instagram, through WhatsApp? Have you been able to get in touch with some of them?
I speak a little with Destiny, with Angela, and that's it. But we are going to meet each other in Rotterdam, so it's more, it's more cool to meet, to be able to speak in real and extra. But yes, for now I talk a lot with Blas, with John, and Destiny a little, and Angela.
That's great.
Well, I don't know if it's too early in the morning or your voice feels okay, but I don't know if you could give us.
You want me to sing a little?
Yes, voila, or if you want.
Yes, of course. It's kind of early, but I can do it.
Okay.
Voilà, 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 voilà qui je suis, me voilà même si mise à nu c'est fini, c'est ma gueule, c'est mon cri, me voilà tant pis. Voilà, 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 voilà juste ici, moi mon rêve, mon envie, comme j'en crève, comme j'en ris, me voilà dans le bruit et dans le silence.
Wow.
Amazing. Like, if you can do this in the morning without having rehearsed, we cannot imagine what will happen in Rotterdam stage on May. That will be amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for this.
Thank you. Yes, of course. So, yes. So, and
that
the
was
last.
So nice.
Thank you. So the last question. So I don't know if you have had time to listen to other Eurovision songs, but if you could steal any of this year's Eurovision songs to sing it by yourself in Rotterdam instead of Voila, what would you choose?
I will choose, I think I will choose the song of the Iceland. I don't know why I'm crazy about that song. Like it drives me crazy, but it's very hard to sing. So I'm not sure I could sing it, but I think I will choose that one.
Okay. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting something like more Voila, but that's interesting.
No,
that's interesting.
If I could steal a song, I will steal something like so different than my song, and I could dance on it, and I could make party on it.
Yes.
Great. So thank you very much.